And so I think that a lot of people are falling into unconsciousness, but a lot of people are also waking up at the same time. And I think the more people are waking up, then, well, obviously, like you, yeah, I think that hopefully there are enough people waking up that eventually it will be like a global thing, because there are things like, for instance, things like fat phobia. We are now so much more conscious of that. And what else is there? Ableism, like all of these things that, because we have had hundreds of years, I don't know history that well. You know what I found out the other day? But we've had so like the thoughts are like, they're coming out the 100 kilometers an hour. What were we talking? Oh yeah, unconsciousness. So hopefully enough people are waking up. But so that's what I've been. Fuck, I keep thinking there's someone behind me. Maybe there's a spirit behind me. I might be with a ghost right now. Oh, talking to dead people. What was I going to say on talking to dead people? Okay, I'm just going to run you through this very quickly because it's not something that I really want to dwell on. But so after Tom died, he came to my house, like his spirit came to my house, and then I was we hung out for like about a year. So make of that what you will, whatever. We are basically all drowning in our own images, right? Do you get what I mean? Like, we're drowning in the content and it's not the real thing. Oh, isn't that sunlight just to die for? For the image, right? Because the sun, oh, there is nothing more exquisite than natural lighting. But that's just how it looks. Content isn't real. Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy does an Instagram photo, like, or story every day, basically where he just looks at himself in the mirror and he says, "You're a hot slut." So that's kind of like been my self-love, self-care routine lately. You are fucking incredible, Allanah Freddi. You are. I am so proud of you. Thank you, Allanah Freddi. You are so beautiful. I am very proud of you. You're a very intelligent, bright young girl. People love you. People adore you. People love you. The people love you. I love you. I'm proud of you. You're in control, Allanah. You're in control, Allanah. You're in control, Allanah. Okay, now I have the script there, and then, so I can just like, okay, this might actually work very well. Today we're going to be talking about Aphrodite girls. So Aphrodite was a Greek goddess. Aphrodite was the Greek goddess of beauty. Aphrodite girls, or girls with a lot of Aphrodite in them, tend to carry or take on a lot of projections. So if you think you might be an Aphrodite girl, then it's good to be aware of this. So you just need to understand that people are going to be projecting a lot onto you. When people see beauty, they have expectations. Like, with beauty, people see beauty, they think virtue. You know, they expect you to be particularly virtuous and then so you can basically only let them down. So you need to understand that people are going to be projecting a lot of things onto you. If you understand this, then you can be better aware of when this is happening. What is projecting? Projection is the process of displacing one's own feelings onto a different person, animal, or... An example of this might be to say that if I hate fat on people, I hate fat people, that is a result of me hating the fat in myself. Like when I look in the mirror and I see fat and I don't like it. Or in other words, if I hate fat in other people, like that's known as fat phobia, we know that. If I hate the fat in other people, that's because I hate the fat in myself. Or if I hate the gay in other people, that's an obvious one. It's because of the gay that I haven't accepted in myself. Are you with me? So if you can understand that what you hate on the outside is directly related to what you hate on the inside, then you can start to do shadow work and you can grow and evolve. What you hate on the outside is what you hate on the inside, and what you hate on the inside is what you hate on the outside. Do you understand what I mean by projecting now? What we hate or feel repulsed by in others is a direct result of what we hate or are unable to accept in ourselves. Shadow work is basically learning what these things are and learning how to accept them in ourselves so that we can be better at loving other people, I guess, and loving ourselves, because we are one with, like, we are other people. I read the other day in Eckhart Tolle's new book, I think, a mother is not different to her daughter. A mother and daughter, they're not different. Like a daughter is her mother. A daughter is her mother. You're in control, Allanah. Don't let the food run your life. Don't let the weed run your life. You run your life, and then you let everything else fit in around you. While you resist, persists. How to become a person. Do shadow work. Pray for the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Apologize for things that you feel sorry for, and then do better in future. Learn what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is. Understand your own mind and decide on your own values and your beliefs, and then understand that these are somewhat inconsequential to the isness of being, but that they can still help you navigate your world if you're not yet conscious enough to let go of the labels. Learn to understand your own body and what feels good and what does not feel so good. Limit your screen time so that you don't drown your own reflection. I used to spend so long editing photos, and if you just stare at an image of yourself for so long, you will drown in your own reflection, like narcissists. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the ego. Are you with me? I'm good. Good, I'm glad. Are you with me still? Come, I will shepherd you. If you follow me, I will shepherd you home. Now I will refuse to spend any longer than 15 minutes deciding on a photo, because you can't afford that. Like, we are dying every second, people. So more than 15 minutes, because even those little things, you're like, oh, if only that was different. Like, other people aren't going to see that. They're just going to see like the bigger picture. So give it 15 minutes and then zoom out and say, it's fine, and just look at the bigger picture. Understand that when you no longer need anything from anyone else, then you will be free. Not needing anything from anyone is distinctly different to having needs, because everybody has needs. You should know what kind of behavior in other people feels good for you and what kind of behavior feels bad around you, and then structure your life accordingly. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Are you with me? Please govern yourselves accordingly. You're in control, Allanah. I don't know. I was talking to the dead. I don't know how else to really explain that. Like Tyler Henry. Kind of like Tyler Henry. So that was interesting, but also made me like, anyway, and I thought to myself about making this video. I thought, do you really want to make it public knowledge that you speak to dead people? And I watched Tyler Henry, the gay bloke he speaks to dead people too, and that really made me feel seen, I guess, in a way. And so he kind of helped me embrace it a bit. But do I look like I glow in the dark? Yeah, but Dionysus didn't like people. He didn't like people getting rowdy, right? Because the cops would come around and they were like, shut this shit down. Anyway, he had these these mysteries, these ghost stories, if you will, that he would tell around a fire. I imagine there was probably a campfire. And so Dionysus would tell these Dionysian mysteries around the campfire, and they were really fucked up. Like people were like, what the fuck, bro? Because he'd talk about like, one of them had, like, there were these 3 women, and I'm not sure if they were witches, but they sound a lot like witches, and they would like get animals and just like eat the animals alive and like tear them apart, and like they were savages basically. And that was one of his stories. He was like, what, wasn't that funny? Everyone was like, but he had the wine, he brought the wine, right? So are we understanding the relationship that people are having to be in with Dionysus? Today I want to talk about a topic that is very close to my heart, and that is talking to dead people. I didn't know that I could talk to dead people until after Tom died. And then initially I thought, oh, fuck, sorry. I don't talk to the dead anymore though, because my pastor at my church told me that I should stop. But they're always there, you know? And anyway, when I was talking to the dead earlier this year and last year, they gave me 2 names. They gave me, and these are, I later found out, these are Greek gods, okay? They gave me the names Dionysus and Persephone. Now Dionysus, if you're familiar with his work, was one of the Greek gods, and he was the god of wine. So Dionysus would like come to parties like, hey, basically with a keg that's a barrel, because it's wine. He would come to parties with a barrel of wine, and he'd be like, hey, it's like Greeks, right? He made his, but not moonshine, it's wine. So everyone would get drunk on Dionysian wine, Dionysus wine, and then they'd get all silly. Sorry, that was hilarious to me. They would though, because they were drunk. Are you with me? Then, so everyone loved him because he was the guy who always brought a barrel of wine to parties. Consuming his wine would release people from the barrier of self-conscious fear. Isn't that interesting? Everyone loved Dionysus because he was the bloke who always was carrying a barrel of wine on his shoulder. And so people would get drunk on his wine, and then when they would get drunk, they would lose their inhibitions, and it would release them from the barrier of self-conscious fear. Because that's what wine does, doesn't it? Isn't it? Speaking with dead people can be understood in an abstract way as the same thing as living in the past. The myth of Orpheus, he was another Greek. I think he was a charmer, just generally. He played music, and he was kind of like the bloke with a guitar in the corner, playing a guitar in the corner at parties, Orpheus. He was charming, he had a beautiful singing voice. And so why was I referencing him? Oh, okay, so there's a recent Stan series called Poker Face. It has Natasha Lyonne, my hero, in it. She's my favourite actress of all time. She plays basically a girl who is meant to be like a human lie detector. There is one episode, I think it might be the last episode, called Orpheus Syndrome. So the myth of Orpheus is about like going back into the past and trying to relive the past. So the myth of Orpheus is about, basically it's about this guy who he's playing guitars at parties and singing to people, and he has a beautiful singing voice. He's a charmer, generally speaking. It's basically about going back and trying to relive and redo the past, like over and over again. The last episode is about CGI, and this woman is like trying to bring back a dead person so that she can make up with them and stuff. So going back and trying to relive the past can be thought of abstractly as the same thing as speaking to the dead. And I was actually speaking to the dead in a very literal sense, but I just noted that that is a parallel that can be drawn. Because at the start I was like, why, Pastor Lou? Like, why can't I talk to the dead? Because obviously Tom died, and I was like, but I want to hang out. And then I found out that I can still, which was alarming, but immediately settled into, that's fine. Because the reason why you can't just like hang out with the dead all the time, And I did for like a year. I know how insane I sound right now, but I actually have a degree in psychology from the University of Melbourne. The moment is the medicine. I coined that myself. The moment is the medicine. What do you think?